I am Anil Kumar. Welcome to my YouTube channel and the website Global Math Institute. We had earlier shared with you 60 questions based on slope and intercept form, and now out of those we are going to solve the ones where the equation of line is to be found from the graph. Right? So that is the set of questions we are looking into. So these are the graphs which we have, and we'll try to find the equation of line for all of them one by one. So I'd like you to actually understand the whole method, okay? So these are the ones which we are going to do now. So let's begin with the very first one. We'll write the equation in the form y equals to mx plus b. To get the equation in this form, we need to find the slope, which m is equals to y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, and the y-intercept, which is the value of y when x is 0. So let's take up the first line. Here a point is given to us, and we have a point q, which is given to us as minus 2, 6. Now do you see another point which can be easily identified? It is the origin. So another point here is O, which is 0, 0. Now that can help us to find the gradient. Perfect. We already know the y-intercept, and we know from here that the value of b is 0, right? So the equation is very simple. How do you find the gradient? Since the line is actually going downwards, we know it has a negative slope, right? So few things you should get from the graph itself. But how much is that slope? So m, the slope will be y2 minus y1, let's write down, over x2 minus x1. Now you can take any point as the second point. So let's say O on the right hand side of Q is my second point. So it is 0 minus 6 over 0 minus minus 2. So that gives you minus 6 over plus 2 and the slope of minus 3. So if the slope is minus 3, the equation will be y equals to minus 3x, and the y-intercept b is 0. So there is the simplified form, which is y equals to minus 3x, which becomes the equation of this particular line. So that one is very simple. You can also see that you can find equation because it is going through the 0. You know the y-intercept is 0. But you can see, identify some other point, right? So you go down 1, 2, and 3. So minus 3, right? And 1 to the right, you have a point, right? So plus 1. So you can see that m is equals to minus 3 over 1. That is from the graph. A very easy method of finding the slope. Do you see that? You do not have to really calculate at times. So I hope you have understood this strategy. So you can apply this strategy by finding the slope very easily, right? So here we have, for example, a line, right? So we are given a point P, which is 3 and 2, right? X coordinate 3, y 2, and the origin is at OO. So clearly we know the y-intercept is 0, so I can clearly write that. But see, what is the slope, right? So to reach from O to P, what should I do? I go rise of 2. Do you see that 2, right? So that is the rise. So we can write m is equals to 2 divided by what? The run, right? So let me make it with a different ink. 1, 2, and 3. Do you see that? So it is 3. And therefore, we have the slope of 2 over 3. You can definitely use the coordinate points and subtract, get the answer. But I will use this simple method whenever it is easy to use. So we have the equation as y equals to 2 over 3x. Did you like this method? So this is another way of finding the equation of line very easily, right? So these are the cases of direct variation as mentioned here. Direct variation is that the line goes through the origin. Perfect. Now let's take the other point. In this case, we are given the y-intercept. So we are given the y-intercept b, which is at 1, correct? And then we are given a point q, which is 2, 5, right? 2, 5. Perfect. Now you can see this point basically b is 0, 1, right? So point b, let me say capital letters, 0, 1, right? So that is the coordinate point. So you can find the slope m as y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So that gives you the value as 5 minus 1 over 2 minus 0. You can take any point as the first and the second point, right? 5 minus 1 is 4. 4 over 2 gives me the slope of 2. And therefore, the equation is y equals to 2x plus b, which is 1. You get the idea. So that is how we really get the equation of the line. Now, see, I could have found the slope like that also as we did earlier. That is to say, rise over run. 1, 2, 3, 4. Do you see that? So that gives you 4 up, right? And the run is 1, 2, right? 2. So we have a ratio 4 over 2. Does make sense to you, right? So very easy to find slope from the graph itself. So I hope this concept you've understood, right? So let's do this time slope and y-intercept. The y-intercept is minus 2, right? So b equals to minus 2. And what is slope? Let's see. So the scale is 1, 2, 3, 4 on both sides. So let's go down. 1, 2, 3, 4 and one more, right? 5, correct? So since we came down, I'm writing minus 5. Makes sense? And now let's try to reach the point 1, right? 2 and 1, 3. So 3 to the right. So we get our slope, which is equal to minus 5 over 3. And therefore, the equation is y equals to minus 5 over 3x minus 2. Does it make sense to you? Do you see, I did not even use the formula y equals to y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Since, when the graph is given to us, we can read the values directly, right? Makes sense, right? The next question here, again, we'll try to do with the best possible way. We know that the y-intercept is b given to us at 3. So we know b is 3 for us, right? Let's find the slope. It is negative, right? So m is definitely negative since we are going down, right? So how much down are we going? 1, 2, 3. 3 down. And how much right are we going? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4, right? So we have a slope of minus 3 by 4. And therefore, the equation is y equals to minus 3 over 4x plus 3, right? So that is so simple to write down the equation of a line from the graph. I hope this concept is absolutely clear. Are you comfortable doing this, right? Well, in case you want to learn from me, you can always send an email on the address given. So we can make maths very interesting and useful for you. Perfect. So there you go, one more test question for you. Pause the video, answer this particular question, write down the equation in the chat, right? Okay, great. Let's do it once again. We know the y-intercept b is equal to minus 4, right? b is minus 4. And what is the slope? Slope is positive since the line is going upwards. You can see that, right? So it moves how much? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 up. And then run is how much? 1, 2. Run is 2, right? So we see that the rise is equal to 4 and the run is equal to 2. So this particular ratio, 4 over 2 is 2, is the slope. Get the idea, right? And therefore the equation is y equals to 2x and the y-intercept being minus 4. Perfect. So easy, right? So that is how we find equation of a line from the graph. Perfect. So with that we have learned how do we write equation of a line when the y-intercept is already given to us. It is so simple, correct? As we did with all 3-4 examples. I hope the concept is absolutely clear. Feel free to write a comment, share your views. In case you like and subscribe to my videos, that'd be great. Thanks for your time and all the best.